Oh shoot! Forgot my notes. Let me see if I can remember. Just waiting for somebody to get on. I'm trying out this new light, and I'm so mad. The little I like that better. Can you hear me? If you can give me a 1 in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. Hello, Melissa. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear me. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it. I was just get adjusted. I bought this new light. I do think I like the light. And it's supposed to have a space for you to put your phone. And I thought, oh, this is convenient. This seemed a little bright though. Let me see. And okay, there we go. And it's but then the doggone phone piece thing broke. I'm like, oh my God. Always something. So such is life. Anyway, how was your day going, Melissa? I had my notes for stuff that I want to talk about today, and I left upstairs, so I'm not gonna even go run and get it. So I'll just go off the top of my head, and hopefully I will remember. So I tried something new today. I scheduled, or at least, I scheduled that I was gonna be going live. Okay, so you got a little time to yourself. That's good. My week was so far. I'm here in the Chicagoland area, and it rained. You know, it got really nice a couple of weeks ago. Thinking, okay, spring's gonna come, and it's back cold and rainy. Last week I had a tooth extracted. I haven't had a tooth extracted since I was like 10. So it wasn't that it was painful. It's just more of a nuisance, you know? Yeah, I think we probably getting the same rain, Melissa, because kind of watching the storm, that's exactly how it was going, like, towards the East Coast. Saya, Phoebe, I don't know what the P means. Or is that supposed to represent like an emoji or something? I'm not sure what that means. But anyhow, y'all, welcome to Tell Me Something Good Thursdays here on Same Old T. So last week I couldn't go live because I had that tooth extracted. It's still a little swollen, and I feel like I still like I'm not talking completely. It's still a little tender. But I was like, nah, I gotta get on here today. Yeah, I can see where it's still, you can see there's a little swell. But anyway, that's about what was going on this week. I'm so mad that I left my notes upstairs. I was like, okay, these are the things I want to talk about. So does anybody have any wins so far this week? Thank you, Melissa. I am feeling better. Today was my last day taking antibiotics, so I'll be glad to be done with that. So that's definitely a win for me. It seemed like I had some other wins this week. That I'll tell you, boy. Getting busy. You forget stuff. What was a win this week? I can't remember. It maybe come back to me. So I have been, and I didn't bring the book. You know what, y'all? I apologize. We just had somebody come by. We're looking to get our like guest bathroom, I guess you want to call it, like our second bathroom redone, and the meeting just took a little longer than I thought. So I done left everything up there, my book, my notes, everything. But anyway, I am having a book club and we meet every Monday on Zoom. And this past Monday was 3 weeks. And so we've been reading Atomic Habits. I believe the author name is James Clear. It is an amazing book. I had seen people talking about it, talking about how it was a game changer for them and things of that nature. And I said, okay, let me read it. I like self-help, productivity type thing. So they did not overhype it. It is an amazing book for anybody looking to, I would say, transform some, aspect of your life. Um, it will change the way you think about setting goals versus how we typically do stuff. Oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. Oh, I want to read more, this, and that. It gives you real, simple, practical ways to show you that you want to take that kind of goal aspect out of it and think more so like, how do you want to identify? Because losing 10 pounds, what does that really mean? Does it mean you'll be healthier, feel better, da 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 da? So then that's what you should be having your habits work towards. It should be, I want to identify as a healthy and well person. I have not, but I hear that that's a really good book too. Have you ever read The Four Agreements? That has helped me to learn how to let things go. No, but I heard that's a really good book too. And so I have uh, had it on my, to check out list. I do. I did sign up this year for, what is it called, Amazon Music, because they had Audible, and so that's something I probably would do on Audible. Some stuff I like to actually have a physical, book in my hand, and some stuff I could listen to. Like right now, I I always say read, but I'm listening to it's called Profit First, which is like a good book for any entrepreneur, small business owner, or what have you. So I'm listening to that. I think I got maybe like 2 more hours worth of listening. Then maybe I'll sign. Maybe I don't know if it's called Checkout or whatever on Audible. The Four Agreements. Yeah. Oh, Atomic Habits is awesome. I love it. I He talks about thinking about like habits and things like that, and he talks about just getting 1% better. And I mean, that just sticks in my head. And then so now, instead of feeling like I got 100 things to do, my goal is to knock out this 100 to do list today. That's daunting. That's overwhelming, because if you get 97 things done, you're gonna probably think, oh, I didn't get these other three done. But if you switch it up and say, did I get at least 1% better today? Then of course you can say, yeah, I did. So it's been a game changer, and I'm already seeing the improvements just from that little switch in mindset about 1% better habit stacking. I was already familiar with habit stacking, but he gave a little bit more um, meat to it. And then it really made more sense. So I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be jamming. I kind of gave myself like to the end of June to kind of have my life together. To have my habits in place and things of that nature. And I feel confident I'm gonna get there. That I will get there. Using the tools that I'm getting out of this book. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Melissa. You know what? I used to do that too. When I so I used to work for a community. clinic, like patients who like either don't have insurance, on Medicaid and things of that nature. And so I was a OB, well, I guess you could say OB-GYN NP, but I didn't see patients. So they would get sent to me, by phone, like if they like, oh, I'm spotting or this or that. So I would kind of like triage them a little bit over the phone, as far as like, you would get, a week didn't go by that I didn't get people who was barely pregnant, like they hadn't even had their dating ultrasound yet, and they already want to know, can they have a test to find out, what's the sex of the baby, so they can do their gender reveal. Oh my God, those calls used to drive me crazy. But because my job was remote, I wasn't even at the clinic where the OB patients would come in. I would just put on YouTube. And listen to so many people's channels and things like that. And YouTube was a game changer for me. It really was, because I was so sick of that job. I was so sick of that job. Well, Melissa, hopefully you'll be happy to know that I'm definitely to being with the channel. I feel like I have it's been revealed what the essence of the channel will be about, what compared to what I initially thought, which that's one of the wins. I'm like, oh, today makes 6 months since I started the channel. Today makes 6 months. And as of this morning, I think I was at 686 subs. And I decided to call my subs the Real Ones Tribe. And the reason I came up with Real Ones is because I feel like I'm a real person. I show the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so when people, thank you. And so when people, decide to hit that subscribe button, it do mean a lot. To me, that means like, hey, something you put out here, I like, So yeah, no problem, Melissa. So I appreciate that. So, here I'm calling the subs the Real Ones Tribe, because something that I put out resonated and you decided to hook your girl up with a sub. I appreciate that. So that is one of my wins today. Like I said, I'm so mad I left my notes upstairs, but I'd rather forget something and talk about it next week than to run upstairs. So I'm really proud of myself. 6 months ago, and I am going to do a video about this, but 6 months ago, I don't know how much YouTube, y'all, what sectors of YouTube you find yourself in, but it was a young lady whose channel is called DoDash. And I was, looking, and she had a video like, don't worry about having everything set up. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. And I kind of was in that stage, like, I got to get a light. I got to get this. I got to do that. I got to, all that kind of stuff. And I saw her video and I was like, that's it. Tomorrow, when my dog at the groomer, my husband at work, I'm just going to get in the car. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to do like a quick little video just to introduce myself. And I'm going to figure out how to get this YouTube channel done. I think and the video is up. If you, I think I called it, starting YouTube at 49 or something like that. It's the very first video I ever did. And, yeah, I was nervous. I was nervous as could be. And, so got that video done, uploaded. I swear, I think it took me 8 hours. 8 whole hours to record and upload it, thumbnail and all that stuff. But look at me now. I know how to edit using CapCut. I feel like, the quality of my videos has greatly improved. I'm making investments in, like trying to get lighting and just baby stepping. And what's so crazy, I actually have a really nice camera, the Osmo Pocket 3 that I bought a million years ago. Um, because my marketing coach, I have a marketing coach. I'm part of a marketing group for my business, had recommended. And I used it when I went on the cruise in January, but I haven't done anything with the footage. So those are the things that I plan to work towards. I do want to get the channel monetized. Why not? Uh, I do put work into these, videos. I do think about making sure I'm providing value and not just up here running my mouth. You know, if I want to just kind of run my mouth and jaw jack a little bit, then I'll go live. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So today makes 6 months. And for like half a second, I was like, man, I probably could have been, monetized. Watch hours. People do enjoy my content. Clearly because I do have the watch hours. I think I hit the watch hours probably within the first 60 days. Probably like in the first 45 days. Um, and obviously that came from my 3-part series talking about how I got introduced to the Jehovah's Witnesses and how I woke up and left the Jehovah's Witnesses. So, that definitely helped. So and I'm learning that for a lot of YouTubers, sometimes getting the 1,000 subs is the easier thing to do. It's the watch hours. So TW in the house. Is it? I don't know why. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna put on my home Wi-Fi and let me know if that's better. I don't know. I might have to eventually. I don't know. My brother said I need to get an Apple. But it's called MacBook. Is it better now? Those are the videos that caught your attention, Melissa. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people say that. I was just telling my truth. And telling my truth, not even though I had people like in the comments saying like, "Oh, you just trying to, make money on the JW or whatever," and it's like, no, okay, that's better. So you know what? I'm in my I call this my office, and it's like where I do YouTube, where I do sister locks, where I do crafting. So it's like my room. Um, the I guess where it's at in the house can be kind of funky. So I need to probably remember that, turn the Wi-Fi on. So I'm glad that's better. Thank you for letting me know that. So I'll remember that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, people were saying like, of course JWs who ain't had no business looking at this type of content, right? Was saying like, oh, you're just trying to monetize or make money like all the other XJWs and this and that. And to be honest, initially it was, I want to tell my story because it can help somebody. Because I think about all the people, those who continue to make content and those who all they did was tell their story and really didn't put nothing else on their channel. People need to know other people's story. That's why we read books. That's why we watch movies. It's good to know other people's story because sometimes there's something in that person's story or what have you background that resonates with you, or it helps you through something, or you realize, oh, I ain't the only one. you know um I knew that my story needed to be shared because it's unique in the sense that I think on YouTube you'll probably find more people who were born in or came, or whose parents came in when they were younger, like little kids, and and then their kind of journey in the organization, and then waking up and leaving. versus me, big and grown, especially considering my, family background and things like that. It's like, what? How did this happen, lady? I just was asking myself that the other day, like, how did you, but you have to extend grace to yourself. You have to extend grace to yourself because you could be the smartest, book smart, street smart, whatever. Anybody can get fooled. But I tell you this, I won't get fooled again. Mm-mm. Yep. I'm trying to read the comments. It definitely does help. It like self-help. It is. Listen to other people going through the same stuff. The weakest answer I ever received when I studied with the JWs was the question, how do the anointed know they are anointed? By the way, I was not born in. Okay, TW. Yeah. I asked that question too. Because I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's like with anything. It's like a romantic relationship, right? You see red flags, but you you kind of focus on whatever these positives is, and then you go into benefit of the doubt mode, right? Potential mode. And then after you then fool la la with this person, back and forth, and then you just kind of wake up and be like, what am I doing? Like, why am I wasting my time? Like, that's exactly how it is. I asked that question, you know? It's like, yeah, how do they know? Oh, it's just a feeling. But it's like, well, and you tell me this, TW, but did they tell you that you wouldn't have that feeling? Even if you said, well, I feel like I'm going to heaven. Did they tell you that? Because that's basically what I was told. Because I was just like, well, how can y'all just conclude that everybody, how can y'all conclude that everybody that's kind of coming in now is not part of that heavenly hope? There was one brother. He didn't go to my congregation, but I guess he was in the circuit district. But he was well known. A black guy, really really nice. I love him to this day. And to show you how it's such a small world, my brother's best friend, like in high school, come to find out that was his uncle because they had a kind of unique last name. And I just remember asking my brother's friend one day, like, do you got an uncle? This is JW, with last, same last name as you or whatever. And sure enough, that's his uncle. But he was one of the coolest people. And I was like, so he got the most common sense. And I'm going to tell y'all what he told me one time. I had went to visit that congregation and worked out in service. And he was like, I want to work with you. So we was working. And probably one of the best times I actually had in service because it was just like a normal, regular people conversation. And so we were talking. And one thing that I always remember him saying to me, he said, the less the friends know about you, the better. He said, they don't even need to know that you were a teacher. All they need to know is you are sister so-and-so. You know what I mean? I remember that. And I was thinking like, dang, this is somebody who are the anointed telling me like, the less these nosy folks know about your business, the better. And I was just like, he dropping some tea. For real. Yeah, see, they told you couldn't be anointed too. Yeah, they probably gonna change that. I remember, oh Lord, this was definitely after my father passed, but I think it was before I went to nursing school. So this had to be sometime between probably 2012. Well, probably whenever the broadcast came out. When did the broadcast come out? Oh, thank you, grow faith. Thank you so much. Whenever the broadcast came out, um, we had a circuit overseer. He was a younger guy. So all the, younger people was loving it. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. you know, he was a little bit more hip, you know, kind of thing. I remember him giving a talk, and in the talk, I guess he was sharing the new light that I guess scrolls or whatever had been revealed, that there is a chance that people who, what was it? People who, you know, um, that people who wasn't affiliated, didn't know nothing about Jehovah, wasn't witnesses or nothing like that, that that worldly people would basically have a chance to survive Armageddon. And I remember everybody being so excited. And I think even somebody said something so this has to be maybe 2012, said something along the lines about like, you know, like that's hope for your family or whatever. Because none of my family came in. They, you know, they would come to the memorial if I asked them or something like that. But wasn't nobody trying to like be no witness. They would read the Awakes, you know, if it was a good practical article. But wasn't nobody trying to be no witness, you know? Nobody was trying to be out there knocking on doors. Hold on, I'm trying to read these comments. TW said, I've been out for 35 years. I just walked away and moved away too. TW, let me tell you something so funny. I was just talking to my husband. Was it my husband? Who was it? Was somebody this week. And I was like, I knew I was over it. I was over it. Like after my daddy died, that I think I was for sure over it. And I remember before I met my husband, which was fall of 2016, I graduated from nursing school December of 2015. I was putting in applications to move back to Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta in my early 20s. And I had a whole plan. I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to get me a job in Atlanta. I got family down there, friends down there. And I just ain't going to go to the hall. And if they, you know, call and keep saying, you know, where should we send your card? Where should we send your card? I'm just going to tell them I ain't picked a congregation yet. And hopefully they'll leave me alone. And that's pretty much kind of what I did here in Illinois, you know. But it's a shame when you think about it. It's a shame that you are like thinking of how you gonna get these people to leave you alone. Like when I left my home church that I grew up in, and nobody was beating my door down, and nobody was shunning me in the streets. You know, my family still went there and things like that. So when we get together, nobody's like, you left the church. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Let's see what Melissa said. Yeah, this one older sister was always in everyone and anyone's business. Okay. But yeah, she was always sure never to have anything about her and her family. Of course not. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Never. They're never gonna talk about their family. Never. Yeah, that's shady. Man, let me tell you something. One of in my video, the waking up video, I talked about a young lady that I knew who's younger than me, who went to the hall that I went to, you know, had videos and da 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 and that whole thing. So me and her mom been talking, you know, and I guess the mom must have went back and watched my videos or thought about it, and she was like, "Who was talking about my baby?" You know, who was talking about my baby? I was like, I can't remember exactly who I said, but it would be in the car groups. But you see how she feel. So that's making. I'm sure she probably thinking like, so these people was fake encouraging me, you know, when my daughter was, you know, getting into trouble or whatever. But they fake encouraging me like it's gonna be okay. She gonna come back. But y'all talking about her, you know, in the car groups. Mm, she watched my she watched my the JW friendship video. That's what made her say that. Yeah, they love to gossip. They love to gossip. Yeah, they love the gossip. None of my family came into this religion, and I'm so happy nobody followed me into it. Exactly, grow. Exactly. Yes, I'm in the fading stage. Haven't been to a meeting in over 5 years. Moved to a new territory, and they stay trying to meet me and invite me over to dinner. I'm not trying to do any of that. Don't do it. AC from DC. Don't do it. I had been gone. I left, like, physically left 2017. And how long we been in this house? 2021. 2021. Now, I ain't been in nobody's Kingdom Hall. I ain't called. I ain't text nobody saying, hey, send my card here or whatever. And they wanted to talk. I went on and did it, because I was like, this is gonna be it. And I can't say that since then nobody has reached out to me, which I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. It's so weird. It's so weird to, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna be doing a video because I have some JWs that clearly love my content because they can't stay out the comment section. And so I had a few of them talking about, like, why do you hate Jehovah's Witnesses? Your content shows that you hate Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm like, I ain't never said I hate Jehovah's Witnesses. I really don't. I don't really hate nobody. Now I may not fool with you, but that don't mean I hate you. You know, it's so funny that um, I don't know. That's just weird to me. That's just like when I see kind of like racist comments and things like that. I'm not about to go back and forth with those people. Like, they don't know me. I don't know them. I don't know why these Jehovah's Witnesses come on XJW, former JW content and have a nervous breakdown in the comments. It's so weird to me. It's so weird to me. For real. So I'm glad to know that y'all like the content. I When I first did this, because that's my husband was like, "Well, you gonna kind of make it like an XJW channel?" I'm like, "No, no," and I am more than that experience. But I would say my last three videos really showed me that we do need a space. People resonate with my energy, my vibe, and I know I got a whole lot to say about that. But I also have a lot to say about just loving yourself, being the best you can be, making sure your health is on point. Being a 50-year-old Black woman. So it's gonna be a mix of content, but I'm gonna definitely stay true to the XJW content because it's needed. It's needed. Um, I'm seeing new people pop up every day, and it take a lot of courage. Take a lot of courage, and I my vision for the channel has become clear. Whereas before, I didn't know. I just thought, okay, I'm gonna tell my story, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. And that's the beauty. Like, that's what I was kind of thinking about today. Like, man, it's been 6 months. Sure. Oh, excuse me. Had my grandma and I gotten sick and passed, and things like that, I probably would be at 1,000 Real One Tribe members. But life happens. And I do feel like, but in this moment, I'm stronger. I have a good vision for the channel. You guys, I feel more connected. I think I said this before on the live. I feel more connected to my YouTube community than I do to the jokers on my, personal Facebook page. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So that right there makes make you all my people. Let's see. TW said, I remember my mom telling me 40 years ago, I saw you out in service in a car. You look so unhappy. My mom, not a JW, knew me like a book. She was so right. Wow. That's deep. That's deep. I also don't understand. if they are watching your videos that they can't see what you are saying is true. LOL. All they need to do is open their eyes and see you are 100% right. By the way, I mean the JW. No, I know. I think what's the saying? A hit dog, a holler kind of thing. I think it's that. I think the ones who come and they want to be like, you're wrong because this scripture says, like, I have one who literally, I think he might like me. Now I end up doing a video about him because he was the one saying that if it weren't for Jehovah, he would be cheating on his wife because he loved women so much and da 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 and all this stuff. Don't y'all know he back? He is back. So I asked him. He was commenting. What video was it? I don't know, it's one of the most recent 3 like long form videos I had put up. Oh, I think it was the JW friendship video. He come talking about uh this the only religion, the true religion, because we're the only ones who know God's name or something like that. And I said, did you even look at the video? And welcome back. Welcome back. Because clearly you feel this content. Oh my God. So I do think some of them they like the content and it probably is stirring up something. So maybe they feel like, she's making sense, so they got to come back. You know how it is. You know how it is, how they want you to be. If they say, if somebody's saying this about Jehovah's Witnesses or this is that, you supposed to come back, with the scriptures to beat them over the head. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. TW said, Melissa, the cult mindset is not open to facts. So here's the fact. 1975, that was a good year because I was born. Like, yeah, good thing the world didn't end. I don't know. I don't know what part of 1975. I don't know if they meant like January 1st, but at least they got to stay here past the 21st. Cause I got a chance to put my 2 feet here on the earth. Yeah, yeah. It's something else, y'all. It's something else. But so I'm trying to think. God, I want to talk about Atomic Habits. I wanted to talk about the 6-month anniversary. Y'all are, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. Like I say, I feel more connected to you guys than I do to the jokers, on my Facebook page. And so I was playing around the other day with the membership. So that piece probably will go live. And so what I envision, I'm still trying to make sure I figure it out. It looks like right now it's being suggested, I guess, that I had 3 tiers. So I'm just trying to figure that piece out. But what I ultimately see is a space for us to, really dialogue kind of thing. And, we can talk about, some things that I just feel like ain't for open public discussion. So I'm just trying to figure that out. I anticipate having that done, hopefully, by early next week. That for sure by next Thursday. Yeah. I don't even remember that 1975. TW, I don't remember that. I feel like I got a very rose-colored glasses version of the Witnesses. Because I'm going to be honest, the little blurb that they might have had about Charles Taze Russell and the Bible students, as they were called, I believe, it was very like it just wasn't in depth. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yeah, they had their dirt. It's like how the Mormons say, what's his name? Not Brigham Young. Whoever founded the Mormons. You know, it's always and I'm gonna tell you this. Now I might be wrong for this, y'all. Don't judge me. But I remember thinking like, why did God give this vision to this white man? like, like all the people, why was this white man chosen to, usher in the true religion? So yes, obviously, if they had, especially with the way my brain worked, if they had told the truth about Charles Taze Russell and the whole history and things like that, I would have probably been like, I don't know. And I said I was gonna stop saying like, obviously I wish I had never been a part of it, but I always say, had I not come in, met Sister Sassy, went to a jewelry party with her, started selling jewelry, met my friend who was responsible for me meeting my husband, then I'd be like, well, it's worth it. But I'm like, who's to say that we wouldn't have met another way? We'll never know, right? But it's all good. I look at it like this. I've definitely gotten past like the hurt and things like that. But yeah, if my content can save one person from either joining, hurting themselves because they feel alone, because they getting shunned, or people who like, I'm not strong enough to leave because my whole family and friends, but need that confirmation on the inside that, hey, you're not crazy. What you're thinking is accurate. This is not what they say it is. Then me, like I used to say, well, I didn't get burned that bad. I did a little bit, but I'm a tough cookie, especially compared to these people who experience child SA and stuff. And now y'all let me know. So I've been going back and forth. I want to do a video, and I'm like, do I save it for the membership, for like behind what they call the paywall, or if I should put it out there? And I'm like, I feel like my soul keeps saying put it out there. Like, I want to do a video on. I did the video about what women should consider if they become a Jehovah's Witness, but I want people to know what Jehovah's Witness women experience as far as like married ones, because I have some stories. Obviously not personally, because I didn't marry anybody in there, and I knew that right away that I wasn't gonna probably marry nobody. But Joseph Smith, yes, as much Mormon YouTube I watch, you would think I remember his name. Yeah. What y'all think? Should I do that? It is going to. That video will talk about DV. Nothing too graphic, but just kind of, I want people to know what that submissive JW woman has to put up with sometimes. I'm sure somebody's still putting up with it. You would think in 2025 sisters wouldn't, but if they still there, they are. Let's see, Melissa, I was raised in it during the late 90s and early 2000s. Got DF in 2012, reinstated in 2018, faded during COVID. Awaken Truth did a video the other day talking about like COVID, and how so many people that COVID and the Zoom meetings helped a lot of people get the separation. I did a video, I did an interview with them, and that's what I told them. Going to nursing school was like a blessing, because now I had something to separate me. That's why they always like, look around. If you don't see sister and brother so and so, call them. Let them know we missed them at the meetings. because the meetings is where they just keep pounding it in your head. So, like I use this analogy all the time. It's just like if you constantly being told you ugly, you ugly, you ugly, ugly, like every day, three times a day, no matter what you see in the mirror, you still gonna have in your brain, you not cute. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the meetings are. That's why they want you to keep coming to the meetings. And see, they know, because I think at first they was telling people like, make sure you're dressed and ready and sitting up, and people buying chairs and all this stuff so they can recreate these like Kingdom Halls in their living room with Zoom. But then I think somebody was saying like something along like it's like a privacy thing, or friends' homes may not be as nice as somebody else's. So then I think they was like saying it's okay to not have your camera on. And baby, once they did that, people was like, I'm out. After I left the JW's, Mormons came to my door. I told them about their racist past and shut the door. Okay, Melissa. Okay, girl. I'm gonna do it then, y'all. I'm gonna do it. I got 2 witnesses to say to do it. I'm being funny. The 2 witness rule. Okay. Yeah, my husband, when I told him on our first date, I told him I was a witness. And I was like, and because at that point I was like, man, I really like this guy. I think it could go somewhere and everything. So I was like, I might as well tell him. And either he gonna stay or run, right? And he stayed. But it's so funny because like, uh, in time, he was like, when you told me that, he just was thinking like, oh my God, she's so lost. she she's so lost. I'm gonna save her. So like, whatever. Melissa says, what helped me wake up was when I got reinstated. I was more depressed and doing everything possible to be doing the right thing and still didn't feel like I was enough. And I told myself, there isn't no way I the only one who feels this way. And that's how the whole one. Ain't that something? Let me tell you something. And I plan on doing a video on this. Y'all getting all my exclusive content ideas. I've always been relatively confident, right? We all have our moments of, nervousness or anxiousness or, little things like that, just normal growing pains, right? Being a young person and things of that nature, getting, going on your first real job, interview, stuff like that. But I realized that the witnesses had begun to like influence and impact me to where I started doubting myself. You know what I'm saying? Like having anxiety. And I've always been I'm not a limelight person. So I don't need the limelight on me or whatever. I don't need to be the center of attention, so to speak. But I started like really doubting myself. So like in what was it, 2014, I literally, even though I was like, I know the witnesses think, affirmations and stuff like that are bad, I literally had to type out like these 4 affirmations. And the one that I remember the most, and I say to this day, anytime I feel doubtful or anything like that, is always believe in yourself and your abilities. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you might have moments of imposter syndrome, or you might have nervousness because you're doing X, Y, and Z for the first time, but believe in yourself and your abilities. Don't let nobody make you feel no type of way, And yeah, once I came out and like able to step away, I was like, they was making me insecure. I know so many witnesses who are depressed, they either depressed because they constantly waiting for the end to come, or they depressed because they ain't got no money because they can't go to school. And everybody think going to school is going to get a bachelor's, or hell, even going to get an associate's. It ain't that. It could be going to cosmetology school, going to HVAC school, going to get your CDL. But it's like, oh, can't do that because, oh, I gotta study. It just drives me crazy. It's like they don't want you to better yourself at all. But it's crazy because then I hear they like be secretly sending people to law school so that they can fight the cases. So it's like it's just such hypocrisy. Y'all, I can't see. I'm looking crazy. I just got my hair retightened, my forehead looking all big. But that's all right. We keep it real over here. Let's see. What helped me wake up was when okay. Yep. I read that. Facts. I have been so much better emotionally since I left, and I'm so happy I made that decision to focus on me and do what I have to do. Yeah, absolutely. Man, I was like, what is going on with me? Why am I like full of self-doubt? So that's what I believe is meant when they say put on a new personality. Like you just strip away who you are at the core and be this cookie cutter person we want you to be. I remember when I got my hair locked. I don't know if any of you all ever seen that video, but when I started, I might have had that much hair, maybe. So them little twigs was like, And when I first got it done, I did wear a wig because I was looking crazy. I was looking a little crazy. So I wore a wig for about 30 days. But then after that, I was like, hey, it is what it is. It started looking cute to me. And honey, they was looking at me. They was looking at me. Um, but nobody ever said nothing. And then obviously as they grew and things like that, and then it's like, at one point, they was down my back. I did the video about that when I, cut them, and it's already then grew. So to be honest, this is a little early tea as well. I plan on combing these suckers out. I think I want to go into a more traditional lock, something that I can maintain. I don't know. I'm doing any and everything that I feel like doing. I'm 50 years old. Okay. Y'all ever seen that Sally O'Malley character from SNL? When she be like, I'm 50. I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I am 50. Like that's how I feel. I'm 50 years old. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. But yeah, it could be very depressing. Very depressing. Like I used to really cringe when we would have those meetings and then they'll be like, friends, can you see it? Can you see yourself in paradise? What type of house will you have? What would you da 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 da? And people raise their hand. I'm gonna have me a mansion and I'm gonna have a double stove because I'm gonna bake and I'm gonna and it's just like all that to me, especially in hindsight, all that is saying is that I'll be happy when versus you can get some happiness now. It's so many. Thinking back when I was in that congregation, it was so many single women who ain't never been in no kind of relationship to even maybe have a person take you to the movies. Like that gotta be depressing. You ain't never been on a date. You 50 something years old, still living here with your mama, raising your hand, answering these watchtower questions. It's sad. It can be a very sad existence. You know, you had an I didn't. Let me go back. You had a question, TW. No, the last thing I see that you said was after I left the JW's, Mormons came to my door. I told them about their racist past and shut the door. So type it again if that wasn't it. That's the last thing I saw. What else y'all got going on? We've been on here almost an hour. I ain't gonna do much. I made some dirty rice yesterday. I did want to make some zucchini, but if it's almost an hour, it's almost 8 o'clock. I'm gonna pretend I got some zucchini and eat the dirty rice and woosah for the rest of the night. I had a full day. I did a sister-in-law client. Had a lot of follow-up to do with patients and stuff. People think because I don't sit at my clinic every day, Monday through Friday, that I'm not working. I'm like, just because I ain't seeing no new patients don't mean I ain't working, you know? TW, can you write the question again? I don't think I lost no connection. Can y'all still hear me? Oh, don't leave no more comments. You driving. Don't leave no more comments. Okay, y'all can hear me. I don't know. It's not coming up. Why is it not showing? You say you. No, I don't see no. No. Last question. You had asked about how much did the study go into the 1975 prediction? I don't know why it's not. That's the other thing, y'all. I did purchase Restream, and I think I gotta research all this stuff. Um, yeah. See, Melissa says she's not seeing it either. I don't know what's going on. What's this? I think that's just the microphone. I didn't know if I could hear you. No, I think that's just to mute me or something. I better not touch that. That's crazy because we could see that you just put, I don't know what is happening. Maybe, I don't know if are you copying and pasting it? Or maybe just put like one or two words, then enter, then one or two words, enter, or something like that. I don't know. Because that's weird that you put the question in there 4 times, but then it wouldn't come up. That's weird. All right, let me see what else. I want wins. The book, 6 months. We got into a good old discussion. I'm glad that y'all was able to come on, because at first I was like, man, should I switch Thursdays? Because I had popped up a few times during the day and those went really well. But I don't know. I thought Thursdays was cute, Ain't like the Cosby Show come on Thursdays no more. Okay, the title of the book is called Atomic Habits. I meant to bring it down here, but I left it upstairs in my bedroom, and I wanted to start on time. I should say I wanted to start on time. I didn't know if it was going to automatically start me. I was, I'm learning as I go, so I had scheduled the live just so people knew, like, oh, T's gonna go live at 7. Because sometimes people say they don't get the notifications and this and that. So, just trying to learn this YouTube thing and get better. So the title of the book is called Atomic Habits. The author is James Clear. I believe that's his name. Oh, okay. So there's the question. XJW cult to cult of Trump. What's XJW cult? What you mean by that? Okay, good, Melissa. So when you say you got the notification, Melissa, meaning you got a notification saying, hey, she gonna go live at 7? Or did you get a notification when I actually went live? Which one? Yes to the no the oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep, doing the thing. So TW, can you, when you say XJW coat to coat of Trump, what do you mean by XJW coat? Because I'm not sure what that is. I never heard of XJW coat. I don't know. At first, I thought I liked this new light. Oh my God, we didn't see the answer though. No answer came up. It's just it's no answer. Golly. Somebody do not want you to be great today, TW. Because we don't see the answer. But I'm not sure what XJW code means, but I haven't seen nothing like, I don't know if you mean like people's content or anything like that. It's people that I kind of watch on a super regular, like Isaac. Lord, what is Isaac's channel? Because he always just says his name. Oh Lord, it's something mind. Is it Free Your Mind? Free Your Mind. Oh, that's a shame, because that's my dude right there. I listen to Isaac. I watch Awaken Truth. Um, and then, like I said, it's been a lot. It's a guy named Tim. I can't remember his last name. He has a very interesting story. Very interesting. So I watch his videos. I try to support all the new people I see. I made it a point that I'll, subscribe even if I don't. Yeah, XJW is not a cult. I don't think it's a cult. Mm-mm. I know JWs probably think it's a cult, but I don't think we know cult. Mm-mm. That's like, yeah. I don't think we know cult. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, just like I tell my JW fans, because clearly they fans, because I mean they come back on a regular, the same ones. Yeah, I wonder because you got Trump and Colt in the same sentence. Maybe that's why they being blocked. All this social media stuff is all very sensitive. You know, nah. Let me tell you something. I'm very thankful for the XJW community here on YouTube. Yeah, I'm very thankful. Like I said, from people who just did that one video, sharing their experience, to the people who have, devoted, um, their channel to JW, XJW content, um, it's, yeah. I think I can't remember who said it earlier, but yeah, it's therapeutic. Man, the YouTube XJW community was my therapist when I fully woke up. Like, no witness guilt, none of that stuff. It was the XJW community on YouTube. My husband, he would leave. I would be watching somebody video on YouTube. He would come home from work. I was watching somebody video on YouTube. He was like, "Okay, I'm sick of these videos now." Oh, absolutely. Oh my God, man! I think I have watched every video that critical thinkers had. I think I think I watched every video they had at the time. And Lloyd Evans, I think at that time he still was calling the channel John Cedar. Um, man, ain't nothing like the confirmation, because I mean I went through all the emotions. It was like, you go through feeling stupid, especially in my case. Like I say, I wasn't born in, my mama ain't come in, my daddy ain't come in when I was little. It's like I knew better. I had so many big ASS, red flags to say this ain't it. And I'm like, in hindsight, like I say, unless the Lord can tell me that, oh, you were still gonna meet this man, kind of thing. And my friend, because she's one of my good girlfriends. Um, yeah, I could have done without that era in my life. Like it didn't make me a better person, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make me a worse person. It did make me subconsciously more judgy. I wasn't a judgy person. Like my thing is, do what brings you comfort. People get all upset, this, that, and the third. If it don't affect me and my household, or my community per se, it's like, do what brings you comfort. I'm not a super judgy person, but I say subconsciously, because in my head, I wasn't verbalizing and things like that, but in my head, I had begun to judge people, because when you're around your witnesses, that's what you're gonna do. You better judge somebody. You ain't judging them, then that means you just like them. You just like the world. You talking, Melissa? You talking about Lady C and JT? How they, or you talking about both channels? You say once you leave, you watch less XJW videos. I think, to be honest, if I hadn't started the channel, would I be watching? Especially because I don't have that job no more, where that's all, I put that on almost like a podcast kind of thing. Yeah, I agree. I probably wouldn't be aware of all the new, people kind of popping up with their channels, because um I wouldn't have the downtime, if that makes sense. But to put it on like a podcast kind of thing. Oh yeah, you say you've been gone 35 years. Um, yeah, why no YouTube? Mm-mm. It wasn't any YouTube. And it's so crazy, like, when they would talk to me about apostates, it was just like they made it seem like, these demonic people that's gonna be, trying to give you their pamphlets and their material and stuff. And I never was approached by nobody. I never was approached. And I do want to do a video, because it's like, I don't know if you I don't know if you're able to like wake somebody up. Like something in them has to spark, and then that, opens the door to YouTube videos or books or whatever, as far as waking up. Because my husband will always be like, the one friend that one real friend that I feel like I had out of the two, she would say, he was saying, you need to I said, where's she gonna go? Where's she gonna go? Her whole entire family are witnesses. Her husband, his family are witnesses. Where's she gonna go? She don't have uh really any friends outside of that circle. Where's she gonna go? She don't have friends at work. What's she gonna do? You know, she, I don't know. She probably, what is it? Yeah, she probably a PMO, but she probably would never tell me. Oh, TW. Oh yeah, you get selective. Absolutely. So don't get me wrong. So I because even though I have my JW content, I still am a new YouTuber, right? And I'm a Gen Xer YouTuber, and this whole technology thing is, not my stronghold. But I'm so proud of myself because I've gotten so much better, and just kind of trial and error. But I just made a conscious choice. Like when I see, especially um, people that I think is going to have a hard time getting their content pushed out there, or it may not resonate with a larger group of people. I think I got a couple of things going for me. I do have like an interesting story, as far as coming in as an adult, all the things, being an educated witness, just some different aspects, being a woman of a certain age and, things of that nature. So I have a little bit more spice that I can add to my channel. But some of these other people, yeah, it may not resonate. It may not resonate. And so I said, hey, it don't hurt to subscribe just to help them in that regard. But am I going to check for the most recent video? I agree, TW, no. You know, because sometimes I feel like demographic far as age per se, not so much like race or something like that. But yeah, I get excited anytime I see that critical thinkers uploaded one. Yo, I do not watch Lloyd Evans as much as I used to, but he don't post as much as he do because of the scandal, I guess, with him. You know, that's why I keep it real. I tell y'all, like, this is what it is. I ain't trying to pretend, and I definitely ain't coming over here trying to be holier than thou and quote the scriptures and things like that, or tell people what to do. I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna give you this perspective. Sometimes it'll be facts, sometimes it'll just be my opinion, and that's all it is. Oh yeah, I like XJW Diaries. Yeah, his Lord, what is his name? Jeez. Dang, is leaving my brain. Oh yeah, Justin, yes. Justin. Yes. And I remember when he first, what's crazy? I remember when he first started, posting videos. And you know what motivated him, if I recall correctly? If y'all familiar with JW Thoughts, Wally. He knows him. I don't know if they was in the same congregation or circuit or whatever, but once Justin started going down the YouTube rabbit hole and came across Wally's channel, he was just like, it was like that confirmation, like, oh, I ain't crazy. I'm telling you, it's something about seeing somebody that you either, for real know, or somebody that was in your, congregation, your circuit, your district. I don't know what they calling it now. Yeah, because then you like, okay, I don't know, it's just a different vibe. Yep. Yeah, something has to spark. I'm gonna tell you this because it was people who was trying to wake me up even before I got like baptized. And I'm gonna do a video on that. Um, and it didn't work. It didn't work. And then like a dummy, I shouldn't say a dummy, but just like a naive, newer witness, you thinking you can have regular conversation with these other JW people that you think are your friends, and they pounce on you. You just like, yeah, I was talking to so and so, and they were saying this, and that, and blah blah blah, and I should really do my research and this, and that. Then they will pounce on you. But now I know why they did, right? Because oh, she putting rubbing two brain cells together. Oh no, you know. Sorry, I have to go talk to my husband quick. I will jump on after nighttime. Oh, Melissa, it has been a pleasure. You have made my day because I think you was the first person on. But yeah, so go ahead and talk to your husband, and we will see you next time, my dear. Oh, you home now? Yeah, talking about I'm gonna comment more. No, you ain't. Not while you driving. TW, please tell me you exaggerating. Are there people kind of doing that, or are you saying like the ones that's a little bit more Bible based or whatever? Cause yeah, I'm that ain't even me. I know. Yeah, the day that I started breaking down, like I yeah. Now Isaac does a good job of that. I like it. He got the country twang, so I can listen to him, break down and, like you say, kind of go over the watchtower, so to speak. But yeah, yeah, I don't watch everybody. I don't. I really don't. I tell people always ask to study the JW history because after they do, they don't study the Bible with JW. Yes. Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one. If I'm a hold on to that one. That yeah, if I ever friend, family, or somebody say they, studying with the JWs, I'm gonna say, well, make sure you do a thorough investigation of the history of the religion. You know, uh, say that again, TW. Yes, content providers read and comment on different paragraphs. Yes, XJW content provider. So you got people out here. What? So you saying they going over the watchtower? But like, are they going over the watchtower to like debunk it, or they just going over the watchtower the way they want to go over it? I ain't seen that. Nah, I wouldn't be interested in that. Yeah, I might not be able to give them a courtesy sub. Nah, all to debunk it. Mm, I know I see people doing, and I don't watch those as much. Uh, I do see people doing like breaking down or debunking the JW broadcast and stuff like that. It all depends, like depending on who it is, and I know it's gonna have a little bit of comic relief in it. I might listen to it like if I'm cleaning up or just kind of doing something and I don't have to keep looking at the screen kind of thing. I could just kind of listen to it like a podcast. I might, if it's something new or something like that. Yeah, I can imagine. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I say the people who, we all need, that's why I think we all can add to this, this big mixing pot of people who've had this experience in different ways. Um, I know that that's just not mine. That would be triggering to me. I don't want to read a watchtower. I don't want to underline. I don't want to highlight. I don't want to do none of that. It's crazy. Like, I was like, I gotta look in my college trunk because when I had got baptized at my Baptist church when I was 18 before I went away to school. Because my mama was like, you gotta get baptized, that whole like if you die, I want to make sure you go to heaven kind of thing. which I didn't have a problem with getting baptized. I'm sure I would have got baptized eventually or whatever. But I remember they sent me at college a purple Bible, and I think it's still in my college trunk because I use and kind of keep my old mementos from teaching and stuff like that. I said I need to pull that out because I did keep that gray Bible to kind of, I guess, for references, not so much for me to read, but to, do comparison, like, or something like that. And just to hold on to it because I have learned from some people's channels, um, just some of the thinking and reasoning behind all the changes and, how the New World Translation got some stuff that all these other Bibles don't have. And yeah, just, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's weird. That's crazy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's how I feel. And you know what's crazy? I had not been in my home church. Um, Man, probably I don't know. I would say probably like a good 20 years. Until my grandmama passed. And walking in, it just felt like home. Like I didn't feel guilty. It just felt like home. Like the carpet is still the same color, the windows, the stained glass, the same chairs, just it just felt like home. And I was telling my husband and my mom, I said, now it's like an hour away because I stay in the suburbs and it's in the city. But because they have a new kind of younger pastor, and I really like him. He was really nice. My grandma's funeral was like the first time I had like met him, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna at least start tuning into the stream. Um, yeah, it just feels like like right. You know what I mean? Um, and those are the kind of conversations I want to have, in the membership because I don't know if somebody wrote a comment on my video or was it somebody else, but it was a JW saying about so many JWs they leave and they become agnostic or atheist or what have you. And I know a few. That's how they identify. Um, and watching other people's channel. And it's like on one hand, I can definitely understand why, you know, but I can also understand that being maybe the initial response and things like that. And with time, you know, and different things happening, it may lead you, somewhere. But yeah, I do want to have those conversations. Let me see. Y'all said a lot. Okay, wait. All right. Okay. Uh, okay. I feel like I didn't miss some stuff. Let me go all the way back. Okay. 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 See, I missed this. Okay. So I'm not familiar with Mark Martin channel does it. Um, I have missed that. He does not do all the paragraphs, but he debunks it all the time. I like listening to it because then I can slowly wake some of my friends up. Yeah, I'm so happy I didn't have a Bible study who got baptized. I'd be mad at myself now. Oh yeah, I've seen people say they feel guilty. I was watching uh I had went back and was watching like first and second seasons of Scientology, and so many of the parents who woke up and things like that, that's the stuff they're like, because their kids are shunning them, or I forgot the term they use, but they're like, I brought my kids into this religion and they so indoctrinated, now they shunning me because I left. I feel the same way. I'm so glad my mama didn't come in, my brother, you know um just everybody. I'm glad nobody did, you know. Like I said, they might have came to a memorial here or there, but I think they probably just did it just, you know, just to, I don't know, make me happy. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Captive of a Concept is a good book to have. Captive of a Concept. Let me write that down. Captive um Captive of a Concept. I'll check that out. It's another good book that I think especially good for JW women, whether they PMO, questioning, woke up and left. Oh, what's the lady name? I want to say it's Amber something. But the book is called, I think, Leaving the Witness. And I'm going to do a video about that. I read that book. I had discovered her on Lloyd Evans' channel. And it's basically her book about, you know, her JW experience growing up, this, and that. And then trying to find that purpose. I think a lot of people say that, right? Everybody has that one story where they like, out, you know, my faith was waning, or you know, this and that. So we try to go all in, right? Auxiliary pioneer, or just go out and service more, or study harder. You know, we try to do all these things because we looking for that feeling, but we ain't gonna get it. We ain't gonna get it. People who say that, they don't get it because it wasn't meant for us to get. You know, but it's a really good book because she was married, and they go over to China. Is it China? I believe, yeah. To be missionaries because she's looking for that fulfillment in life. And it's so crazy how she woke up basically from being a missionary in a you know, in a preaching in a country that I guess, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses were under banned or something like that. That's a good book too. I enjoy listening to it. I had started reading it, but then I could only renew so many times at the library. So then when I was at that job, I ended up finding it on the audio library thing. Hey Pam, that's my mama name. I had to make sure that wasn't my mama. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for joining us. Pam says, I am thankful for the XJW community. This is helpful are and good research. I understand why it's so hard to wake up. I was studying with some witnesses. I did research, showed them. Yeah, they ain't like that. Man, the governing body got slaughtered in that book. In the captive of a concept book, growth. Grow. I said growth to TW. We terrible. Grow. Hey, Melissa, you back already? Yes, that's true, T. They do, especially if that witness was a cradle JW and didn't know the Lord previously. hmm The questions that can get vulnerable people in trouble is, what is the meaning? You know, that's they go to right there. You know that. Yeah. What is the meaning of life? Where are the dead? Yeah. Okay. Let me write that down. Don Cameron. All right. About you think you have leaving the witness or captives of a concept? Oh, excuse me, y'all. We having us a good old time. So just imagine we can really, you know, be able to like talk verbally and don't have to keep texting, typing up everything. So it's not warm here in Chicago. It's been raining, and I think it's gonna be like barely 50 the rest of the week. I could be okay with that. I just wish the sun would come out. Fall used to be my time. Oh, that's what else I wanted to talk about. Fall used to be my time. I was a fall girl. I loved it. Cute sweaters and boots and things of that nature. But but I the last few years, April 1st is my new year. Like April is my new year because January, February, and March we still in winter. You just got over the holidays and the hustle and bustle and all that stuff, and like things are still, what is it, dormant, hibernating and things like that. So for the last few years, April 1 has been my new year. So that's probably why I have all this like energy and vigor and, I'm gonna do this and execute and all these things. And I do have a lot of good things that happened in April. I got married in April. I officially opened up the clinic, in April. And the day of the clinic opening is my daddy's birthday because I wanted to connect it to something, that I know he would have been excited about. He would have been 70 years old this year. But does anybody else feel that way? I know we're talking about witness stuff, but it just popped in my head. I did want to talk about that. Does anybody else feel like, you know, spring is more like the beginning of the new year? Not that we gotta stop talking about what we're talking about. I just remembered that was something I did want to ask people. So this my new year, y'all. So this technically my quarter 1. So Grow, which book were you talking about? Captives of a Concept or the Leaving the Witness book you think you got? Y'all still there? Or do I need to scroll up? Y'all still there? Can y'all hear me? What happened? It looked like it's still live. Anybody still there? Did something happen on my phone? No, I still got 16%. Y'all still there? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Something must have been wrong because ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm going to end this and come back.